Hello, Michelle Coop. Really excited to get into this one. Already seen your numbers, but before we get into it, I want to get on the same page as to what success set me up here. All right. So let's get on the same page together, Michelle, as to what success is on an off week or even on an on week. So, some analogies I want to put forward for you first. Let's say, for example, when it comes to the skill of writing with a pen, you have done it so much in your life that at no point, no matter how tired you are, how sick you've been, if I put a pen in your hand, you'll still be able to write without a problem because you've done it so much. Now, what about someone who's only learned to write for 2 years? And their coordination is way off, their system has been under attack with illness or fatigue or lack of sleep or whatever. They will probably have a harder time putting their sentences together with so many things pulling them away from themselves. This is on the skill component. Now, that stands ground when it comes to our pull ups, when it comes to our dips. So, even a little bit crazier analogy in mixed martial arts, in fighting, in boxing, these guys and girls have practiced their skills for thousands of hours that they get to a point where even though they're concussed, they've taken headshots, they're completely dazed. Some of them are fighting, but they're not conscious. It's like it's just their body moving, and their brain is basically shut down because their brain's been rattled inside their skull. You find that their technique doesn't go anywhere, even though they're completely faded because they've done these things so many times and they would forget how to say their name before they forget how to fight, even with that level of damage where their brain is not even offline. Some of them actually will get badly concussed in round one and then wake up at round four with no memory of rounds two and three. And these analogies are essentially to bring it back to you when it comes to our lifting. So even on a bad day, such as, we've had a couple of days where you've really been feeling the sickness, coming off of the travel, body's been a little bit, you haven't been 100%. Even on a training day like this, where we don't get the reps that we would hope to, the utility of a training day like this is that we're still building our pull up and dip technique. We are still getting more reps into the skills that are relevant with our shoulder press. So even on a bad day, getting good reps in is still very meaningful because even though, for example, today we went for 7 minutes, so that's about what, 14 pull up reps. And about what, double that for dips, about 28 dips. That's still a win because we got a lot of practice even on an off day that will pay off back for the time when we circle back and we're fresh. Even though physical capacity wise we haven't, we haven't been 100%. So sometimes, in especially when we're looking at the long-term building process, Michelle, a bad day doesn't really mean anything. It's good for me as a coach to adjust because on a day where I know our max reps are maybe gonna fall a little bit under, instead of our 6 pull-ups or our 12 dips, we're gonna get 10, we're gonna get 4, we're gonna get 5. In that situation, we go with the EMOM setup, the every minute on the minute. For example, which allows you to get 7 first sets repeatedly. And now we're getting 7 first reps, 7 first sets over and over again, even on a bad day. You're still building the skill and you're still building the neurological coordination of the pull ups and the dips that will ultimately get you to 10 pull ups, 12 pull ups, 20 pull ups, and north of that with dips. Um, so sometimes, even on a bad day, just adjusting so that we are still building the skill of the movement and still building your technique with time is very important because 2 years from now, when you've been doing this so long, even on your most horrendous day, you're still going to have a very respectable number of pull ups and dips. So, as long as you build the skill, even if you're physically fatigued. So, even on a bad day, Michelle, there is still winning here. And I want to remind you of that. Even on a day where, God forbid, in the future, I hope it never happens to you, but even at times where you are very, very sick, some training still builds us forward. So I just wanted to make that note because I know you can feel quite frustrated and you can take it out a little bit. You can take it a little bit hard sometimes if you feel like you haven't performed in the workout at the level that you think you would. But remember, we're building over a much longer time span. And we're building something so much bigger than one workout, 1 month, 3 month. We're building the physique that's going to carry you for the rest of your life. And we're building the strength that's going to carry you for the rest of your life. So that's a comment, I guess, big picture on the entire week, just for you to understand Okay, just because I haven't been 100% does not mean that I didn't do what I was supposed to. So that's that. Now, it was 5 minutes long, but was very important for us to get on the same page as. Now, let's get into our home upper. You failed on set seven, no problem. You did 7 sets, you did seven first reps. Actually, looking stronger than last workout. That was a very smooth, too. Okay, yeah, comment here, Michelle, before we even see those dips. Yeah, okay. This is very good. All right, I want to highlight something important here, my friend. So wrist position. We got a bit of a cocked wrist here, which is not a problem by itself, um, but is the positioning that I want to address, especially since we've been feeling um, that spot in your wrist. So little analogy for us here. When I have everything on one line here, elbow to wrist, I'm perfectly aligned. If I'm even slightly off this way, there's going to be a lot more pressure on the outside of my hand, even though because you're still gripping the bar fairly towards the middle of your hand is here, but because you're out of alignment a little bit, your wrist is a little bit not flexed, a little bit extended like that, is going to put disproportionate pressure on the thumb area right here. So something very important when you grip, think about almost I grab and then I rev the motorcycle with the dip bars, because when you rev the motorcycle, even see me here sitting nice and tall, look what happens to my torso. I'm revving the motorcycle right now. Just revving like that picks my chest up, which can be a little thing that can help you go from this position to a little bit naturally straight wrist. So I really would like us to keep that in mind and try that for next time that we have our dips in rotation, because also like changing your wrist position does completely modify your torso position, as you saw with me right here. Yeah, but paying attention to that alignment with the bar is very important. A lot of the wrist stuff and the elbow stuff that we dealt with in the long term way back when has a lot to do with your alignment strategies. You're very comfortable here, which is not an issue, but getting you to here is just going to make the lift a little bit smoother and actually give you a better position. First, beautiful first set. Actually, I didn't even see your dips. I'm sorry. So focused on your wrist. I want to see your dips. Pull ups were excellent, stronger than last week even. And we're warming up the dips. We're warming up the dips. Still looking better than last workout as well. Looking beefy, looking strong. All right, and let's reset this here. Beautiful first set. Yeah, you look stronger than last workout. You look stronger than last workout. I want to see if your wrist position changes here. Yeah, pay attention to that. Like really be conscious and experiment with different wrist positions, because I believe this will feel much better if you do kind of revving the motorcycle a little bit. You look good. You look good. Yeah, you look strong. You look strong, and these are a lot of reps and a lot of sets. I see you wearing that little wristband. Is that a wrist strap or a band? Oh, it's a glove. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, that's all right. Sorry, I haven't seen you with those in a minute. Yeah, it's a lot of reps. Yeah, look at the pressure, Michelle. It's actually quite evident here how the pressure is really towards the palm of your hand. Straightening out the wrist is going to spread the pressure a little bit. Oh, we're really feeling the fatigue on this set now. It's three. Oh, yeah. That must have been your last set. That must have been your last set. Or your set before last, actually, is my suspicion. That's phenomenal. It's quite excellent. Just yeah, let's play around with wrist position a little bit and see if going straight wrist actually puts us in a stronger position. What you're doing is not an issue. It's just really putting the pressure on the one spot here. Um, And you're also you're going where you showed me on the arrow is kind of the tendon of your thumb, but with what I'm seeing here, it doesn't seem like you're doing any damage. It's just a lot of pressure on one part of your hand. So let's rev the motorcycle next time. Did you leave a you didn't leave a comment with this one? Okay, I'm really excited to see this one. Ooh, oh, this is great. I love this. Yo, how did this feel? Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. You look really strong with this. We've never done this before with the barbell. Oh, I love this. Yo. Oh, this is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. Yeah, this is really good. This is really, really, really good. Yeah, this is excellent. This is so beautiful. I'm gonna explain to you why in a moment, but I want to see the second set even cleaner. Your hinges really tend to get progressively better every set, because we're still warming up and exploring the position. I'm really happy with this. I'm really, really happy with this. I'm not sure that I want you to go any lower either, with your hinge. I'm content with this for the time being. I'm so happy with this. I'm so happy with this. Okay. All right. So my this has been my favorite row so far, and 55 came out to be very light. Now, value of the bent over row, Michelle. Arguably one of the most valuable movements in the gym, the barbell bent over row, for multiple different reasons. Number one, you're training your hinge position, which is incredibly important in your squats, in your deadlifts, in just generally being very strong. You want a very developed hinge pattern. You want your ability to nail a hinge, regardless of the object that you're lifting, regardless of what you're doing with your body, whether you're sprinting, whether you're pushing a car, whether you're just standing your base. A very developed hinge pattern is a pattern that you're going to use so much in your day-to-day life, and a ton in anything that requires you to go fast or go hard. So it's an excellent way to develop that pattern on your upper body days. That's number one. Number two, simply the mechanics of the exercise. At the very bottom of the lift, especially if you hinge a little bit further, you're getting a full stretch on the lats. Once we weigh it, once we put enough weight on this, where it's like closer to your body weight, this is essentially mechanically a horizontal pull up, because you do get a dead hang at the bottom. So you get that deep stretch on your upper back and your forearms and your biceps. And mechanically, a lot of what makes a pull up an amazing exercise, the bent over row mimics that very beautifully. And that's why it's such an important exercise. And developmentally, Michelle, if you got phenomenal at pull ups, that will develop your bent over row. If you get really good at the bent over row, that will develop your squat, your deadlift, your pull ups, your bench press, your arm size, and your overall day to day strength. It is such an excellent exercise to progress, because it hammers so many different areas. And at the same time, Michelle, to train your back fully, there's two things that you want to do. You want to pull vertically, as in a pull up, and you want to pull horizontally, as in a row. Now, the pull down is a good exercise, the pull up is infinitely better. The dumbbell row with chest support is a good exercise. This is infinitely better. Now, this categorically is very, very similar to a pull up. And for the rest of the year, Michelle, for in terms of your upper back work and your pull up work, if all we do is get really good at this and the weighted pull up, the upper back development that you will get will be off the charts. Your deadlift will go up, all of your other lifts will go up. This is such a great lift to progress. Now, the dumbbell variation is good. I actually prefer your performance with the barbell today. I much prefer your performance with the barbell today. And between this, your shoulder press, as well as your pull-ups and dips. This is a movement I'm really interested in progressing. I no comment here, but since this is something that I really do want to include more of, I'd be very curious how you felt about it and if there was any issues with this one. Because if so, then the dumbbell variation may be introduced. But this is something that I want to get you doing heavy over time. Yeah. So if any comments on it, let me know. Because it certainly will be in the program next week, unless we have a strong aversion one way or another. All right, and we have our decline press. Really solid development on this lift, Michelle. Yeah, you've grown quite a bit. You've grown quite a bit into this lift. Yeah, I'm really happy with the progress on this. I'm really, really happy with the progress on this. 55. It's going to be 55 again next week. Yeah, probably going to be 55 again next week. Um, I want to see you, Michelle. Once you hit this for for sets of 15, essentially, then we're going to go up again. Overhead press loves high repetition. Loves high repetition. So we're gonna keep this weight. I'm gonna progress you on the bent rows, but we're gonna keep this weight until you're clearing 15 reps. Which really shouldn't take you any long time with the calories being up and with a full month of training before Costa Rica. Yeah, that's the grind of the overhead press. Well done. Way to lock it out. I want to see that last rep again. Yeah, look, it was so fast on the rep before last, but look how it creeps on you. Where now it's a grinder and a half. Yeah, yeah. Shoulder press, Michelle, goes from 1 to 0 very quickly, very, very quickly. So way to push through. Way to push through. This one's a weird one. And getting good at, because it creeps up on you like that. It's like you go from, oh, I that was a great one. I probably got three more. Nope, I'm barely getting through the last one. Excellent effort on this. 9, 9, and 8 is very good. Let's aim for 12 to 15 reps. Yeah, this one will grow your shoulders. This one will really grow your shoulders. I think I had 2 lateral raises for you. Yeah, took about 50 minutes. That's very good. You raised the bench a notch. Excellent. I like this. I like this. Yeah, I can. It's perfect. Perfect. This is an excellent variation for you now. Yeah, this one's a keeper. This one's a keeper. For sure. This one's a keeper. At that weight as well is phenomenal. Because you're starting to fatigue now, but it's not going to give you a lot of room. Once you're tired, especially sitting down like that. Yeah. This is not going to be a long set. You're towards the end now. Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. What do we get? 1 by 14. All right. This was my favorite. All right, and then we have our chest supported one. Not as crazy about it as the incline. Not as crazy about it as the incline. Lets you cheat it a little bit. Lets you take the tension off of your shoulders and put it to your upper back. Um, you're doing what you're supposed to. Your body's doing what it's supposed to. Your body's finding the most efficient way to lift the weight. And in this specific exercise, the upper back is the most efficient way to lift the weight. So by design of exercise, I'm going to pick something that resembles the incline positions that we have. Yeah, I'm going to pick something that resembles the incline position for a couple sets, because this one makes it easy to use the upper back. Although you're doing everything you're supposed to, you're side raising as you're supposed to. Um, yeah, so this one, yeah, no, I don't. I'm not gonna include this one again. This one's out. And the incline res does what it's supposed to for you. This is phenomenal. Yeah, I'm really happy with this workout. Some really big milestones here. Got lots of pull up and dip practice. We found an incline, or sorry, a lateral raise variation that I'm very excited about. We have definitive goals for our decline shoulder press before we go up. And our bent over rows were excellent. I think I said that already. They were quite excellent. So I'm very, very happy with this, Michelle. This was a really, really good workout. And actually quite informative for next week.